Welcome to Don't Procrastinate, Get Vocal. We're about getting rid of procrastination, rewiring it so that you can step into your new era. So let's get started. So this is a series I developed a little bit a while back. A while back. It's actually a challenge we did, gosh, 2020. But what I love about this is that it helps a lot of people recognize some of our patterns of thinking and how to keep it moving as you're working on new projects and because what we don't realize a lot of times is that our creative projects, the projects that are closest to our heart, that really mean something to us, that we are deeply passionate about. These are where our deepest patterns show up. This is why people say that entrepreneurship is the highest level of self-development. I would say solopreneurship is the highest level of self-development because often we are stepping into purpose around the things that we have healed. And so it takes a continual healing and renewal and evolution as we are sharing what we have to offer. So the first thing we got to understand is that if you feel like you're avoiding things a lot of times, that we call it procrastination, but there's actually a lot of things happening beneath that. And yes, a lot of it has to do with our feelings. And when we stop listening to the signals our feelings are sending us, then we start doing things to compensate for what we might feel like we're not doing our best at, or that aren't going to go any better if we don't try harder at. And this is where we start to burn up our energy, that it can be pretty powerful and actually do a lot of things very quickly. But if we're stepping into those traps, it can be weird, right? So remember what I said in the first video. So what we're remembering is that procrastination isn't a real thing. There's reasons. Either you're having feelings, or there's an actual reason, there's a logical reason why we don't move forward a lot of times into things. So we have to be able to discern if it's logical, if it's emotional, and it's something that we can allow ourselves to shift out of. And that's what we're going to be talking over the course of the series. So we got to know it is sneaky. It's going to use our emotions to trick us into not doing the thing we want to do. And so what we have to do is be able to recognize those emotional shifts and then sit with them and see what they're trying to tell us so that we can move forward. And they're embedded. So those emotions are embedded in past experiences. And so therefore the stories that we have kept with us of how things have happened in the past. And so a lot of times it's trying to warn you of something that may have happened in the past, but we have to remember past does not dictate future, right? And so when we're having those emotional reactions, noticing, is it something because it happened in the past? Or is it the way you feel a lot of times when you're entering into something meaningful or that's hard or new, or you're not sure how it's going to go? And then start being able to relate those emotions and say, okay, and talk to yourself and say, okay, that doesn't mean it's going to happen the same way this time. And this is why we want to do this time. And it's going to look different because we said so, right? And so kind of talking ourselves through it. I just saw I haven't confirmed it yet. That's why I haven't done anything on it, but I just saw that you can, if you talk to yourself, you're actually much more likely to be healthy. And just not just talking to yourself, but just talking in general, speaking what you're thinking out loud without filter. So it can be even negative. We had a long time when we're saying always think positive. It doesn't always have to be positive, but we want to be able to allow ourselves to process whatever we're thinking and feeling, good or bad, right? So I also want to know that if you do have a tendency, if you already know you have a tendency for anxiety and overwhelm, that it comes alongside that. So a lot of times our anxiety and overwhelm is confusing what we're prioritizing, how we feel about what we're prioritizing. We start questioning whether we've chosen the right priority, right? And so if you're already feeling unsettled and anxious, probably pushing yourself to do something, it's not the time. You probably need to actually move out of the anxiety, develop a little bit more capacity, get your energy up, get your emotions a little higher before you try to get it done, so to speak, right? And so that's kind of what we want to know. The biggest disguises, right? The biggest misconceptions that our procrastination is showing up as. Because a lot of people have realized that procrastination is a thing. You don't even see it that much um, in conversations online anymore, right? Because people realize there's other things going on. There's some emotions going on. There's your nervous system and whatever's been programmed into it is going on. But we're still missing the red flags that will tell us that, hey, you're not necessarily moving in the flow that you desire. And if you keep pushing in that way, you're going to be demotivated eventually. Eventually, you're going to stop. Eventually, you're going to burn out. And so we still got to look at these characteristics and say, if it's showing up like this, then maybe I need to take a step back and again, check in on my emotions. We're going to talk about specifically how to do that in a few. And actually, the next video, the next video, we're going to talk about more specifically. But for now, let's talk about how in the procrastination, it disguises as perfectionism. So perfectionism, I always say that my artists are this is I think of it as instead of perfectionism, I think of it as artistic thinking. Because an artist is always going to be looking for the ideal version of something. And that's why I added idealism here. Because the artist is always looking for like what is the most beautiful, most magical even expression of something. And it's just that tendency that we think we're always thinking ahead in a lot of ways because of that. We're always looking to the future of how something can be in the future. And if we do that too long, it keeps us feeling like we've never accomplished anything, right? And so the goal here is to start to peel back that layer and say, like, okay, it's perfect for now. Right. And you get to decide that. It's not going to be decided on external. Nobody's going to give you that confirmation and you believe it. You have to believe it as an artist that is good for now. It is what is the best that is meant to be in this now moment. Can we do better? Can we improve? Probably. But for now, it's perfect. And that's the only time perfection happens is in the now, time, and space. So if you ever hear yourself talking to yourself I really just like to get things to be, done correctly. I just like it to be done correctly. Then you just want to double check. You want to double check. Well, is it perfect for now? Can you move forward from here? Can somebody be blessed by something from here? Right? And allow it to be what it is. Okay, guys? So that is the misconceptions that come up around procrastination. And so what you'll want to do from here is head over to our next video where we're going to let you know what it takes to shift out of it. Okay. And yeah, we're going to understand that a little bit better as we move forward. Never let yourself think that you are making these things up. Emotions are real. And I love to say is that emotions are always valid. They're always valid. So let's listen to them. Let's listen to them. A lot of people want to dismiss body because it's not the truth. But the body is telling you your association to the truth. And if you really delve into it, it can totally make your life a completely different story. So we don't go down, well, you can if you want to, but the emotions are meant to move along. They're meant to be temporary. So if it's more than a minute and you're feeling the same emotion, it's probably because you're revisiting it and the whyness of it and the story of it. And so let your emotions be fully felt. Don't try to explain them away. Don't try to get rid of them. And then let them move along because they will if they're fully felt, fully understood. Okay. Well, you might not understand them right away, but you know what I'm saying. If you would like to connect uh, with me and to do some work so that we can move through these things a little bit more quickly and start to anchor in and activate your voice into this new era of leadership for you, then please do connect with me. You'll find the information in the description below.